It is the International Canoe Federation's 4th Canoe Slalom World Cup of the season, and we have 2 finals coming your way in the men's and women's kayak. We've had some fantastic racing this morning. We've had some fantastic results. Really interesting in terms of where people have stood coming into these finals, but we have got some great racing coming up. The weather here, well, there's a bit of cloud about. There is some forecast rain. Hasn't really landed yet though, but we could see some in the next hour or so while these paddlers are in action. Currently sitting on 20 degrees here in La Seu in Spain. But the conditions are pretty good though for paddling. No problems this morning, and we are in for some uninterrupted finals for you. There's a layout for the gates, 22 gates in all, 6 upstream, and they've been causing some problems today for some of our kayak paddlers. We'll see how they play out in the next, half an hour for the women, who will be up first in the kayak, and then straight after that will be the men, and some really interesting results in both. Before I introduce my co-commentator, here's Luca Jones, our Olympic silver medalist from Rio.
My name is Luca Jones. I am from New Zealand. I've competed at 4 Olympic Games, and I hope to compete in my 5th Olympics in Paris. Last year was a really challenging year for me. I got COVID and then didn't recover, so I had to miss the season, go back to New Zealand, watch the races from home, and it's taken me a long time to get back to where I am today. I've been fortunate enough to go to 4 Olympic Games, which is amazing. I never would have dreamed that to be possible. I have big goals for Paris. It will be my last Olympics, and I hope to do well there. I have a long way to come back, but I believe it's possible.
Well, it has been an incredible career, that of Luca Jones. Amazing, 4 Olympics already, looking for a 5th. Joining me in the commentary is Australia's Ros Lawrence. And Ros, what a great morning of racing. Some surprise results. That's the standing now as we go into the final. But some really interesting results already today.
Good morning, Ross. Yeah, it's fantastic. It's a great day here in Sao, and yeah, pretty exciting paddlers in the final. It's a Fox Churot sandwich, with Fox starting off first and Churot finishing off the 10 paddlers, so it'll be exciting to see the racing out there.
It's a Fox Churot sandwich with funk in the middle. That is basically the way it's laid out at the moment. Look at where the problems have been. What do you read into that, Ross?
Yeah, look, those staggers out there are pretty tricky, and people are getting quite a few touches on gate 3 today, the same as they did yesterday. But yeah, it's a tight course. We'll see a bit of a spread, I think, in where people are losing time and gaining time.
So you just saw the layout there for the final. The very first paddler on the course will be Jessica Fox, who just scraped into the final. It was nail-biting stuff, wasn't it? And
oh my goodness, she went into 10th place with 1 paddler to go. I'm so glad she made it. It's great to have her in the final.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting. She's going to set down a marker early on for everybody else to want to beat. And the time that Maylin Charoux set in the semi-final was a 99.48. So if Jess Fox can go under 100 or thereabouts, she will be in a real medal position. You would think. She's chasing a 3rd consecutive K1 World Cup gold. Can she do it? And she's already won a gold medal this weekend. She won gold in the C1. Can she do it again in the K1, Ros?
Yeah, look, absolutely. Jess is a person who knows how to do it run after run after run. Her focus is one of her greatest strengths. I like to call it her laser eyes. You can really see the focus when she's out there on the water. Doesn't matter where she's starting in the final, I'm sure she'll put down a great run. Yeah, you just saw in the background on the banks there, the crowd has built up nicely. It's market day in La Seu. Fantastic day. All the markets are out. You can get lots of fresh produce. People have been out doing their early morning market shopping, and they've come down here and they've sat down and they're ready to watch some fantastic racing. Lots of Spaniards, as we mentioned. Maylin Charoux, the Olympic gold medalist from Rio, will be up. She'll be the last paddler on the course, and you can guarantee plenty of noise. But this has been a good run from Jess. No problems yet, and nice and clean. Yeah, she's paddling really well online everywhere. It'll be pretty good to see her time. We can't see a split against anyone at the moment because she's the first one off, but I think it'll be a tough one to follow. As I mentioned, the time that Maylin Charoux set was a 99. So Jess Fox is going to go under that, or she's going to be very close to that time set by Charoux, which is going to send Ooh, so tight in that last up. She's
so
very
tight, but she's going to go under
section.
100, and that is going to be an incredible first run.
Yeah,
wow.
she's on fire.
Just wow. Look at that. Fancy going out and putting a time like that down. Is that fair for the rest of the finals field? I tell you.
Look, that's what it's all about.
That is what it's all
what they've
about.
got to
Oh, here we go.
match.
Let's have a look and see. Was there a touch here on this gate? Oh, yeah, maybe. Maybe just with the fabric.
Look, we'll have our video judges reviewing closely.
I think it was, though. They've given her one. They've given her a 2-second penalty, which has put her out to a 99.42. It was so tight, but just on the fabric. Just have a look here. You can just see it.
Still a very competitive time.
Yep, just brushing it. Wow, that is so tight. But only one paddler went. Now, Jess is not sure. She's saying, where's that come from? But it's definitely there, Jess. Take it from me. I know you're listening to us. You've got your earpiece there listening to us. It's a penalty. There's Naomi and Kate. Naomi Fox and Kate Eckhart, her teammate, her sister and teammate. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, the Aussies have a great culture. Everybody's always running down the course cheering, and shout out to those watching at home as well. My niece and nephew, Lena and Riley, are watching.
Are they? Hello, Lena and Riley. How's Auntie Ros doing? She's doing all right, isn't she? She's a natural.
I'm sure I'll get some feedback afterwards.
You will. Yep. There was some confusion yesterday. People thought there was 2 Roses and 2 Rosses in the commentary box, but it is Ros and Ross. That is the combination, the dream team, said nobody ever. Aliska Mintalova now is on the course. Really fast paddler, and seems to do her best work when she gets into finals. So hoping that she can put down a run now. But the time that Jess Fox said, as I mentioned, only one paddler has gone under 100 before her, and that was Malin Charoux. So Jess Fox, now she's got a long wait, sitting up there in the kiss and cry, watching every other paddler go down and try and better her time. So we'll get an idea here of splits. She's already, Aliska Mintalova, just a little bit behind Jess's time. Jess Fox's gate touch was on, I think it was on gate 16. So that's what you need to bear in mind when you look at these comparative times, that the touch came on gate 16. So we haven't come to that gate just yet. And Mintalova is behind. So she does have 2 seconds, though, that she can pick up if she's clean later on in the course.
Look, I think that touch is going to make it even more exciting, because it's still a very competitive time, but as every paddler comes down, we'll know that it's possible they might squeeze in front.
It's Jess Fox doing everybody else a favour, giving them just a sniff. It's not a big sniff. Whoa, look at this split time, though. This is good.
Jess was very fast in the last 4 gates,
yes.
So it'll still be a tough one.
Yeah, so really you've got to go under 100. You have to go under 100 to challenge Jess Fox's time. And she's going to be close.
Yeah,
Aliska.
Mintalova doing well.
Yeah, it's going to be a big finish. She's going to be under 100. It's going to be tight. It's, yes, she's gone into the lead.
Wow, that's tight.
Wow. And that touch, as you mentioned before, Ros, is crucial. And Aliska Mintalova has done the run of her life.
Yeah, she's very excited. It's great to see. It's always good in the finals when we have happy paddlers crossing the finish line.
Yeah, that is unbelievable. We only had one paddler go under 100 in the semi-final, and already we've had 2 paddlers on the course and they've both gone under 100. Just goes to show, Ros, when you have to step up for the big kahuna, that you've got to bring your A game.
Absolutely, and it's so hard to pick what's going to happen in a final. There's a happy coach there.
Just can't believe it. It's only 0.06 of a difference, but that is Jess Fox's hopes of a 3rd consecutive K1 gold medal. And it's nice to share it around anyway. You can't have the same person winning all the medals all the time.
It's a very sharing and caring sport, isn't it,
It
Ross?
is very collegiate indeed. But these fans, these Spanish fans, are nervous because they've got a couple of paddlers coming their way in just a moment. But first of all, Lois Lever, who, along with all of the first 5 paddlers on the course, had 2 touches in the semi-final, but was still so fast with her raw time that she managed to get through to the final. If she can stay clean here, she could be in for a real mix for a medal.
Yeah, Lois is a very exciting young paddler. She was looking great on the water in Krakow a few weeks ago for the Junior Under-23 World Champs. It's great to see her in the final here in Sao.
If you had have said at the start of the day, Ros Lawrence, that just one paddler from GB would make the final, I I suspect not many people would have seen, oh, that'll be Lois Lever, because she was up with Mallory Franklin and Kimberly Woods, and Lois was the only one who made it through. So there's a feather in her cap.
Yeah, I mean, they're three very strong competitors from GB. Lois is a bit newer to the team, and she's got some great role models.
Ooh, just getting herself in a tangle, though, with that gate. So
Yeah, that's a tricky up. It's such a tiny little lady to get in tight, punt off that wall and get out without touching. It's pretty tricky.
So Lois just needs to hold it together. Jess Fox also had a touch and still finished under 100. So can Lois Lever finish with a rush? Yeah, her split time is a bit outside of Mintelova's, so a bit of work to do. But what a great experience competing in a final in La Seu for this young paddler.
Yeah, absolutely. And leading into the World Champs in a few weeks' time. It's an exciting time of year. The Brits are all very fit, so I'm sure we'll see a good bottom section. They do a huge volume of training in the whitewater in London at Lee Valley, where the water is extra challenging.
It's where we'll be, of course, for our World Championships in just a couple of weeks' time. And, oh, there's another touch there, unfortunately. World Championships and also Olympic selection coming up in Lee Valley. Unfortunately for Lois Lever, that's not going to be good enough that time for a medal. But there are some very fast times out there already. But yes, World Championships and Olympic qualifiers. And in the kayak, the first 15 countries all get quotas in GB, and in canoe it's the first 12.
Yeah, everyone for this season will be chasing those Olympic qualification spots, and there's different systems at play. So at the World Champs, the nations have to qualify the spot for the nation, but that doesn't necessarily mean whoever qualifies the spot will be the one going to the games. There's national selection at play, and some nations are competing right now in Sao for their Olympic team selection.
Yep, getting a little bit ahead of themselves, assuming they're going to get quotas, but some of them would feel fairly confident that one will fall their way. Every now and then you have aberrations. I remember before Tokyo, the Germans having to desperately try and earn a quota for the canoe for the men.
It's a bit out of character, isn't it?
Very much.
A very strong team from Germany.
Yes, and it went down to the wire. They had to win the European quota. And all right, now let's call her the first of the locals. Monica Doria Villarubla from Andorra.
Yeah, she trains regularly here in Sao. It's a home course. She'll have plenty of friends and colleagues on the bank. They work very closely together with the Spanish team.
Oh, there was a touch though, unfortunately, for Monica. And so early problems, 2 touches in fact already for Monica, and that is not going to be good enough. You would struggle, you would think, Ros Lawrence, to go under 100 with 2 touches.
It would be difficult, but we did see a lot of touches in the semi, so
we did.
You never know. Hopefully everyone will tidy it up a bit.
Certainly she's got the speed, she's got the raw speed, but just not really been able to capitalise because of those 2 touches. It's going to make it almost impossible for her to get into the position for a medal, you would think. With the quality of the field still to come, it's going to be very hard for Monica Doria Villarubla.
Our course design today has been designed by Mike Druce and Irati from Spain, whose last name I cannot pronounce.
There's a lot of letters of the alphabet in there.
Yeah, and it's really tight. You'll see there's at least 3 spin moves out there, and that's quite uncommon, but makes the course exciting, I think.
Yep. I had lunch with the pair of them yesterday, Mike and Irati, and I think they seem quite happy with the work they've done. I mean, in the end, the proof is in the pudding.
It's a bit of a high-pressure job. Everybody sees your course.
I know, it is a high-pressure job, and
I think they've done well here.
They've always got to be careful, of course, that they don't favour one form of paddler over another, etc. So Monica Doria Villarubla, unfortunately, out of the hunt there with a couple of touches. So Liska Mintelova, who I'm pretty certain has never won a World Cup gold medal.
Not a gold, I don't think.
So she is sitting on the verge of making some history for herself, which would be something to behold if she can hold on. But we do have some very good paddlers still to come, including the next paddler on the course, who just happens to be
very, very, very fast.
The Olympic champion. And we really, Ros, haven't seen the best of her this season. It's hard to believe that we're here at the 4th World Cup of the year and she hasn't won a gold medal yet.
I think she's saving the best for the end of the season.
Well, she won gold at the Europeans, so she's obviously struck a rich vein of form. There they are at the moment, the top 3 as we stand, with Mintalova, Fox and Doria Villarubla sitting in the top 3. But how many of them will be still there at the end of this final? Look at Ricarda Funk. She is getting in the zone. She is psyching herself up. A bit of nerves there. She's a nervous paddler, but she's also a very fast paddler. So Ricarda Funk out on the course, the Olympic champion, the European champion, the world champion, and, well, just unable to really hit her best form this year. Just been a couple of little mistakes here and there that have cost her dearly at the World Cup she's been contesting. She's finished outside of the medals in all of them, so this will be a big opportunity for her now. She's had a 5th. She did have a 2nd in Prague, but then she was 26th in Tucson, which is very unusual for her.
She's on a very solid run already so far. Ricarda's got one of the fastest straight line sprints, I think, in the women's category, so that's a real strength. But obviously also very technically good.
Just dropping outside the split now for Mintalova, but just 0.3 of a second, so there's plenty of opportunity. Oh, just lost a bit of time there maybe on that upstream gate. Losing a little bit of a rhythm here, Ros, now.
Yeah, but look, she can make up that time still, and, you know, with that touch on Jess, I think it's up for grabs, the podium.
Yep. So how can she finish this off? She's clean, no touches yet, which is the important thing for Ricarda Funk, the German Olympic gold medalist.
She's done really well in that up here at Niagara. It's one of the most fun moves on the course, I think. A couple of gates to go to finish off this run. It's looking pretty close.
Yeah. Oh, no, there we go. Ricarda.
Oh, the last gate.
Yeah, that last gate, and that will frustrate her so much because it's been the story of her season, unfortunately. I think it was in Augsburg. She was tracking for a gold medal, and then she just lost her way on one of the gates and had to paddle back, and there she was sitting in the mix there for a medal, but just on that last gate. How cruel this sport can be.
Yeah, but look, she's very professional. She will deal with whatever comes today, and, you know, out on the course she's always got a smile. She's a very friendly person.
Yes, she is. No, I enjoy her company a lot, and I enjoy talking to her. Yeah, look at that, just frustrating for Ricarda.
That last gate is pretty tricky. It's kind
of
just
tricky.
It's asking you to neck it, but it's quite hard to deliver it every single time.
It is a collarbone breaker as well. Yeah, so that means at the halfway stage, Eliska Mintalova is our clubhouse leader. I wonder what she thinks of where she is and what her chances are. Let's have a listen to Eliska Mintalova.
That was an amazing run you put down. How are you feeling?
I don't know what to say. It's amazing. I try to push every time on the course, and it's a very good run.
Yeah, you looked really strong. You looked really online. Do you think it'll be good enough for a final? For a medal? I'm sorry. You're in the final.
I hope so.
Good, good, good. So that was a really nice run. Does this mean something for you for your selections? For the Olympics?
Yeah, it's a first race on the Olympic selection.
Okay.
I'm very happy in my performance.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, what a time to put down a run like that when it's not only a World Cup but also the first run for their Olympic selections.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the Slovaks are battling it out for Olympic selection here, at the Worlds in London, and then in Paris after that. So, yeah, she's still got more to go, but this is a great start.
Not bad when you've got a W next to your name at the first outing. So if she can hold on, you would think, looking at this time, it's pretty good, 99.36, but we have some quality athletes to come, and including a couple of Spaniards who know this course back to front, and they'll have the crowd behind them. We've also got Eleanor Lilich, who has struggled a little bit this weekend, but we're ready to see her very, very best. She's been so consistent this season, Eleanor Lilich. She's had a win and a third Will she give us some Lillich magic today? There's her German teammate there, Jasmine Schornberg, in the stands, in the crowd. Everyone's very happy to see themselves on telly.
Yeah.
Ros, aren't they?
There's 2 big screens up on the course, so these guys can see themselves on the screens.
Yep. Here she is, Eleanor Lillich, the German, who has really, in the last couple of years, just stepped up and put on notice that she is a genuine contender in both the canoe and the kayak.
Yeah, absolutely. She's a really incredible paddler in both classes. She's frequently medaling and in finals. And yeah, there's a great depth in the paddlers in Germany across all the classes.
She's going to need to do something very special here, though, to challenge for a medal. She's got to go under 100. Basically, anything over 100, you can write off your chances of a medal. So it needs to be clean, needs to be fast. And it's a good start. She's only just outside the Mintalova split.
Yeah, she's absolutely a contender. I'd love to see Elena deliver a great run here in Sao. We've got a few other strong paddlers on the way, though, so who knows what will happen.
Good so far for Eleanor Lillich. Of course, competed in the early days as Eleanor Apple and then has since got married and changed her name to Lillich, which confused a few people, but we managed to keep on top of it here at the ICF.
I'm glad you've kept track of it.
We've got our finger on the pulse.
Yeah, Elena's sister Emily also paddles, and
yes,
her father is a coach,
yes,
so it's a real family thing.
It really, really is.
She's on a really solid run.
She is. It's nice and clean. If she can hold this together, and when I say that the bottom part of the course, as Ros mentioned, there's a couple of tricky gates there that will make or break your run, and here she comes. She's about to tackle them now. So Lillich at this stage looking good.
Very composed.
Got one more gate to go, and
wow,
yes, she's done it. She's done it. That is a great finish. Is she going to go under 99? Eleanor Lillich is just outside. Just outside. Just must have lost a little bit coming out of that last gate. I thought she'd nailed it, but she was a bit slow out of the gate.
Yeah, she looked really solid. It's a bit hard to pick where the time was.
Monica Doria Villarubla watching on, wondering what could have been today. But Lillich moves into 3rd position now. Just on the 100.5.
It was still a very solid run, and good to see her going clean as well.
Yeah. So we're still looking at that raw time of Jess Fox, which was a 97.4, which is just incredible. That's a raw time, and if you go back and look at the replay of her run, her 2-second penalty was for just a slight brush of her fabric on her shirt, and that is going to be the difference between a gold and well, she finishes with a silver, but who knows, we've got some good paddlers still to come, including a local Spanish hope now. It's always good to see the young paddlers doing well in front of their home crowds, and we're going to see Leia Saribis now on the course. Much improved paddler, but always Ros does well here.
Yeah, Leia's an exciting young paddler. I'm sure she'll do well on her home course, and she'll be cheered down by at least 30 local paddlers and support crew. It's always exciting watching the Spanish team cheering here.
You mentioned it's market day here in La Seu, so a lot of people come down with their fresh produce that they picked up at bargain prices on the streets, and you can see in the background that is the Spanish team who are running down. Oh, just got stuck there, lost some momentum, unfortunately for Leia, but she can pick it up again though, get back into the rhythm, but she lost some valuable time there.
Yeah, look, if she can refocus and keep going, it doesn't have to be a deal breaker, but she's a little low on the split.
Yeah, lost a lot of time there, just got stuck going nowhere.
The water does funny things at that drop.
Hilarious. Hilarious if you get stuck there, it's so funny. But the crowd's still getting behind her. They want the local paddler to do well. They want her to be in the mix for the medals, but she's got some work to do. Unfortunately, well off the split time set by Mintalova from Slovakia, who's looking good at the top of the leaderboard right now and is starting to think of medals.
You'll see up these paddlers, when they push their paddle on the bank, like Leia was just doing a couple of ups there, it's called a punt stroke. And I think this is one of the courses where I've seen the most punt strokes.
It's a lot. It's So clean. This is good. A good clean run for the youngster from Spain, but just losing that time up the top of the course, and has found it really hard to try and pick it up again.
Yeah, there's still plenty of great paddling out there. I think she can block this one up to experience, be proud of some of these great moves she's done. Absolutely tight in that last upstream.
So Soribes now crosses the line in a 104.95. So top 5 at this stage for Soribes, but no medal today. But as you said, Ross, great experience for this young lady. And to compete in a final alongside the likes of Fox, Funk and Sharu, what a great experience.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to have her name in that top 10, letting people know she's here, she's in contention. You've got to be in there to go for the medals.
I think from memory, Leia used to paddle with wearing glasses for a couple of seasons,
actually.
Which I used to always wonder how difficult that would be.
I can't even imagine.
Can you imagine having to deal with the splash and trying to see where you're going?
Yeah, but I think some people with contacts, if the water splashes, then they shift, and that can be pretty annoying as well.
Okay.
It's just a hard one to deal with, I think.
Yep. Well, she's obviously got better contacts now because she's racing without the glasses and paddling really, really well. Now, Stephanie Horn, what is she going to bring today? Because she was second in Augsburg. She's been our kayak cross champion a couple of times this year. Just ultra experience. I know you paddled against Stephanie many times, Ross.
I tried. Stephanie's such an exciting paddler. She's so incredibly strong, and sometimes she just really pulls a great run out. She, racing for Italy quite a while ago now. She used to race for Germany, but yeah, speaks many languages, I hear.
Yes. Yes, one of these very, very clever people who seem to be able to be good at every single thing they do. It's incredibly annoying, I have to say. But good on her. I mean, she just did kayak cross as an afterthought. I think it was in Augsburg and won the gold medal there. So just underlines the talent that she has. She's a bit down on the split at the moment. So Mintalova was obviously very fast at the top of the course.
Yeah, it's proving to be quite a challenging run for anyone to get ahead of.
Yeah. Clean at this stage for Stephanie Horn, but yeah, look at that difference, 2.83. That is a long gap to make up on the bottom part of this course. It can be done. There are some tricky gates, some tricky combinations, but if you can nail it, then you can pick up a second maybe here or there. And that's what Stephanie Horn's got to try and do now, because she's got some work in front of her to bring her time down to a competitive one.
She's very fit, incredibly fit, so there's still time to be gained at the bottom. She has made a little bit up.
Made up a little bit of time, yes, so she's sneaking up on it. But can she do something special here?
Wow, she's going for the direct. That's exciting. And she has nailed it as well. That was amazing.
This is going to be big. This is going to be a big finish.
I think she'll be the only one to do the direct.
And she's going to go under 100, is she? It's going to be touch and go. Let's see.
So
just
close.
Outside.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Oh, she can't believe it. She says, I did all that tricky stuff down the bottom and I'm still only in third. How did that happen?
That was pretty impressive, that direct.
Very impressive. Very impressive, but it's the sort of thing you have to do when you've got a time on the leaderboard of 99.36. To beat that time, you cannot dilly-dally. You have to do some incredible things. And Stephanie putting it all out there, but just not quite able to get under the 100, which is what's required for a gold medal here.
Look, that third place could still stand, but I think Mylan is going to have something to say about it.
Well, I think Teresa Fizarova will as well. She's paddling in the kayak in some of the best form we've ever seen her in. She's really embraced, as somebody who began as a C1 paddler, she's certainly embraced the kayak and had some great results. She's top 10 twice already this season, and she picked up the bronze medal at the Europeans, so she's in good form.
Yeah, Teresa's a pretty impressive paddler in both classes, I think, and she's got the full support of an incredible Czech team behind her.
Saw Andrei Tonka there, who's here concentrating on the kayak cross, which will bring you tomorrow. If you haven't caught kayak cross yet on our broadcast, you really must do yourself a favour and have a look at it, because it is an exciting new sport. Well, I'm going to say new. It's been around for a few seasons now, but it's in the Olympics for the first time next year. And of think it's going to blow people away when they see how much fun it is.
Yeah, really, in the kayak cross we see the excitement build between every heat. I think a lot of people out there, they love the pure slalom, but I think kayak cross is here to show us what a good show looks like.
Yeah, for sure.
Therese is on a solid run. She's pretty close to Mintelova's split there.
Yep, she's not that far down, so just needs to keep this going. Another punt there, Roz. Roz, #1 punt fan in canoe slalom.
They're really fun, actually.
Yes.
It's fun to punt.
If you get it right.
If you get it right.
So still under a second behind Mintelova. Another punt there for Fizarova. So getting the paddle, earning its keep today, that's for sure. Now, here we go. She's coming down now to the part of the course where you can make some time up if you're good enough. And that's a nice combination for Teresa Fizarova. It's going to be very close now. We'll see the split come in. She's going to be really close to the Mintelova split, which is going to make for a big finish. Oh, she's actually slipped out. She's blown out by a couple of seconds. But what's she going to do here? Teresa Fizarova.
The back off. Maybe not a planned one, I don't think.
I don't know that's going to be... That's not the result she would have wanted.
Looked a little bit like she was thinking about the direct.
Yeah, I think so.
Didn't quite make it.
I think so. I think that's what she wanted to do, but it didn't come out, so she had to readjust, and unfortunately that's not going to be good enough. But what that means is that Aliska Mintelova has a medal, Jessica Fox has a medal. We have 2 medalists confirmed. The only question we're waiting to answer now is what colour will those medals be, because the last paddler on the course just happens to be probably the best paddler on the La Seu course today, but also an Olympic gold medalist and a silver medalist as well. So somebody with the sort of pedigree that could knock off the 99.36 time.
Yeah, look, Mylène Giroux is a fearsome competitor. She's been training here in Sao for her whole life. Actually, I'm not sure if she came from another course originally, but she has plenty of experience here on this course. And I've seen her on the podium many, many times in Sao.
So Fizarova has a penalty removed, which is good news, but it doesn't really change her position on the leaderboard, just as Roz called. Not quite getting the decision right down the bottom of the course and blowing out her time. But here we go. The last competitor is on the course. Mylène Giroux, 40 years of age, so lots of experience. Just a wonderful competitor, a wonderful role model. She's a mum and is just really showing that she is just as good now as she was when she won her gold medal in Rio. The run she did in the semi-finals was unbelievable. She was the only paddler to go under 100 seconds. She's going to have to do it again now, though, if she wants to win a medal. Yeah,
look, Mylène is so strong, and I think that really helps in times of great pressure. She can pull herself wherever she needs to be. Her little daughter will be running down the bank cheering for her, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mentioned in the semi-finals, she's at an age now where she can understand what her mum's doing and why she's so good at it and what it actually means, because she'd be so proud to see her mum as an Olympic medalist, world champion paddler. And here she is in front of the home crowd. Listen to the Spanish crowd. They're building now. She's not far behind the split of Mintelova. She needs to stay clean, though. A touch could make the big difference here for Mintelova and Giroux in this battle for gold, but this has been good so far.
Very tidy, yeah. She's looking very composed. It's definitely, I think she'll be in the running for a medal if she can keep this up down the bottom section.
Yep. Oh, it's tight. It's really, really tight. Mylène Giroux, can she nail the finish of this race? 99.36 is the time that Aliska Mintelova set. She needs to do this perfectly.
She's gone for the safer spin option and delivered it nicely.
So let's keep an eye on the clock, folks. 99.36. It's going to be very tight. I think she's going to be just outside, unfortunately, for Mylène Giroux. She's gone into fourth, just as you said, Roz. As you said, Roz, she took the safe option when she possibly could have. She could have taken the risk.
Yeah, look, not many people, I think only one person pulled off that direct down the bottom. So I think the double spin is pretty good to go with that.
But we said it yesterday, Roz, when she goes to bed tonight, she will be thinking, what if?
I think she'll be happy with a lot of what she's done on the course. And I'm so glad that Shiro was the last one down. It was good to see her put in a solid run and contend for the medals there.
Look at the Spanish fans here. They were cheering her all the way down the course.
Wow, what a crowd. That's so good.
But let's pause and pay tribute to Eliska Mintalova. I'm pretty certain that is her first World Cup gold medal. I'm sure she's super excited. We're going to have a listen to her in just a moment. Silver to Jessica Fox and the bronze to Stephanie Horn. What an incredible final. What an incredible run by Eliska Mintalova from Slovakia. Also, it's an Olympic selection race for her as well. So double reason for her to celebrate today because she's got a World Cup gold medal. Let's have a listen to Eliska Mintalova.
Wow, that was a really long wait for you, but you've done it. Congratulations. How do you feel?
Amazing. I don't know what to say. It's amazing. I had a very good run and it's very good start in the Olympic selection. It's, I don't know what to say.
Is this your first time winning a gold World Cup?
Yes, it's my first gold medal and I don't want to say, sorry.
Well, congratulations. You deserve it.
Yeah, not really surprised that she's blown away and speechless, Ros, because to put down a time like that, let's have a look at their confirmation. Eliska Mintalova with that 99.36. Look at Jess Fox there.
Yeah, look, Mintalova's just got in ahead of her, and what a way, like a gold medal at a World Cup is exciting on any day of the week, but when it's your first Olympic selection race as well, that's definitely exciting.
And look at Jess Fox's raw time.
Yes.
97. That's outrageous.
We know she's got the speed.
So she will be, maybe she'll have to wear a tighter fitting top next time because that fabric just brushed gate 16 and she couldn't believe it. But she's a good sport and she'll be pretty supportive and pretty open in her congratulations for Eliska Mintalova, who is a World Cup gold medalist.
Yeah, absolutely. Fantastic result for Mintalova. Yeah, those top 10 girls and the others, they all know each other well. They're all training around the circuit and racing against each other each year, each season, and they're great mates and very supportive.
So a good quality final. The top, just Jess Fox in the top 5 having a penalty, so everybody else going clean, which is good to see. Good quality final competition. Ricarda Funk finishing 6th, Eleanor Lilick 5th. So and then at the bottom there, Teresa Fizarova got a 50. Got a 50 in the end, which bumped her down to 10th.
Yeah, I don't even know which gate that was on.
Nope. So there's the overall standings. Jessica Fox on top, Eleanor Lilick, Claudia Zwolinska sitting 3rd, and Ricarda Funk sitting in 4th. And look at Eliska Mintalova now. She moves into the top 10 with that win today, and the maximum of 60 points that you get for winning a World Cup gold medal. So there'll be celebrations tonight for her, I'm sure. Now let's turn our attention to the men. What a great finish, what a great race this is going to be. And in just a moment, well, let's have a listen now to the 2016 gold medalist from Rio, Joe Clark.
I'm Joe Clark, the 2016 Olympic champion and the current kayak cross world champion, and I hope to see you in Paris. I mean, the Olympics comes around every 4 years. It's obviously the pinnacle of the sport and something to win. That's the dream when I first started out. You know what the feeling's like and you know how it can change your life. So for me, it's to get back there and to try and do it again would be the ultimate goal. I think the disappointment of missing the games definitely changed me. It kind of sharpened the focus a little bit. And probably a transitional period in my life in terms of making things more serious, having a wife, thinking about children and stuff like that, and make it less fun in some ways and more about work. So I'm here to do a job, and that's to win.
Yeah, Joe Clark, and he is in this final. We'll have a look now. There are the standings at the moment. Yuri Priskovic, you will not see him in this final. That was the big story of the morning. Ros Lawrence, he missed that gate and got a 50 and ruled himself out. So that's thrown this race wide open. Giovanni De Janeiro did sneak in. He snuck into the semi-final, had to do 2 runs, and he snuck into the final as well. Can he sneak onto the podium? Look at the quality of that field, though. Some experienced paddlers there, but I know you're super excited about Tim Anderson being in this field.
Yes, I'm always pretty biased towards the Aussies. Sorry, Ross.
That's okay. That's all right. We'll let you do that.
But there's some excellent paddlers in this final, and also one from China. It's always good to see someone from outside of Europe on the start list in the final.
Well, in fact, now just confirming where all the problems have been today for the men. Gate 6, 12 and 20 being problematic.
Yeah,
but gate 12 especially.
To the women, I think we didn't see so many touches on gate 12.
But interesting mix in this final. We have some experienced paddlers of the likes of Prindes, Kauser, Mario Leitner, Clark, De Janeiro, and then we've got young guns like Titian Kastrik, the man on your screen at the moment, Xin Quan from China, Johnny Dixon, Tim Anderson and Mikael Trave. They are the future of this sport, and to see them mixing it up with the big guys in a final is exciting. So Titian Kastrik is on the course and looking to, now just repeating for you at home, the fastest time was set by Mikael Trave in the semi-final. It was a 90.67. Now, I mentioned this morning that I thought a 90 would be the time that will win gold. I was starting to feel a bit nervous, Roz, as the morning progressed, because nobody was getting under 92, but then we got a couple of 90-second times, and I think it's going to require something special here.
You know how to pick it, Ross?
No, I don't, but I think it's going to take something very special here. We're going to need a 90-second time.
Yeah, look, I think there's some people in this final definitely capable of delivering that. Tituan was the bronze medalist at the recent Junior Under-23 World Championships. He's a great paddler. The podium had three French K1 men on it in Krakow.
Yeah.
So, yeah, he's on a good run so far. He's capable of taking very tight lines, as you can see, ducking the head under those poles. Is to get the whole head in to get the gates clean and avoid touching them.
And there was a big one.
Only 2 touches in the 10 that made it through from the semi, so a clean run is going to be pretty important today.
I think so. If he can still nail a time of around 90 seconds with a touch, then he'll be pretty happy with himself. He's going to be, well, it's going to be close actually. With the 2 seconds, he's going to be around the 90 seconds. So that's not bad.
Yeah, that's a pretty good raw time.
Oh, imagine what could have been. He was sub 90. Sub 90
Impressive.
raw time.
Yep.
That's impressive. What a frustration for him, though, with that gate touch.
But we'll see in this final, some people will be cutting very, very tight lines, and that increases the chances of penalties.
So good to see these young paddlers doing so well and putting pressure on some of the paddlers who have been around for a few seasons, and they know that they can't rest up because the young guns are snapping at their heels. Well, in some cases, they've even overtaken them, and we're going to see some quality young paddlers this morning or this afternoon or tonight, wherever you're watching, who will win this World Cup of gold medal, the final outing, final international race before our World Championships in Lee Valley, which will also double as Olympic quota selection. Titian wondering there what could have been.
Yeah. That's the sport, I think. In the end, we have 3 on the podium and everyone else is left wondering what they could have done better. But it's such a great mix in this final. There's some big names who've been around for many seasons. Peter Kauser, Vic Prindes, they know how to deliver a good run in a final. Joe Clark, obviously, and
this man.
Giovanni, not to forget Giovanni. He is very powerful and an exciting paddler to watch.
Well, he's currently sitting second on the World Cup standings. He had a win in Augsburg. He finished 3rd in Prague, and then he finished 6th in Tucson. So he has not missed a final. Ooh,
pretty good
tight.
season so far.
He was tight there, but I think it was okay. But he is like I always say it when he's on the screen, he's like an Italian Ferrari, just zooming down the course.
Yeah.
He's got a touch on gate 1.
Oh, dear.
That's annoying for him. And he's got a review on gate 2. I did say that it looked close. I thought it was okay, but they're reviewing it gate 2. But he did struggle in the qualifications. Took him 2 runs to get through, and then he's only just snuck into this final as well. So probably had a frustrating weekend by his standards, and it looks like this is going to be another frustrating run here for him.
Yeah, look, he's only halfway down. He's still got some space to make up a bit of time. But yeah, these paddlers are under absolute scrutiny. There's judges on the bank watching their every move, and then there's video judges, as we can see, reviewing any questionable gates. If there's a little touch out there, it's sure to be seen.
I did, Ros. I was having dinner last night. The chief judge was there having dinner with me, and I did suggest that he could make his life a lot easier if he just pipes the commentary straight into the judge's room to hear our insights, our incredible insights into what's happening out on the course.
Yeah, maybe we can have it two ways, and they can tell us what they're thinking.
Yeah, that would be good. Yes. So unfortunately for Giovanni, thumbs down. He knows that's
a good system, no? Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Yep.
How was the race today?
Yep, thumbs down. Thumbs down from me. I think we all share that. From his standards, the standards we're used to from Giovanni De Janeiro, that wasn't what we would expect. His raw time would have been okay. In fact, would have been a 91.7. But that's not going to be good enough today, unfortunately, for Giovanni De Janeiro.
Such an excellent paddler. I'm sure we'll see him challenging for medals in future races.
Yeah, for him, as is for so many of these athletes, winning a World Cup medal is going to be important. That's what they want to do, but they're all thinking, Ros, right now about London, aren't they?
Absolutely. It's going to be an exciting race to watch. It's a big, challenging course, plenty of stoppers, very fast water, it's very steep, and for the Olympic quota, all the nations will be challenging.
So lots of fans down here, lots of athletes. There's Victoria Us from Ukraine sitting there. She's just spotted herself on TV. Thank you, Victoria, for the wave. Hello, how are you? Yeah, fans from all over the world here watching.
Designer Mike Drews there.
Yes, fantastic to see Mike still involved with the sport. He's devoted so much time and effort. And he was so excited. I was talking to him yesterday about his nephew, Dylan Littlehales.
Who's just
won
a gold medal at the Sprint World.
Broke through for his first ever para-canoe gold medal, and it was a wonderful moment for Dylan. He's had a tough year off the course, but he was a wonderful recipient of that gold medal, and Mike was very, very proud yesterday. Joe Clark on the course now, the 2016 Olympic gold medalist. We saw him in the introduction talk about the journey he's been on. He's become a father this year, which has given him an extra... Oh, Joe! What the heck?
Just a strategic touch there.
Yeah, it's strategic, all right. Bang.
Oh, that was fast.
That was very fast, but he needs to now because he's got to make up 2 seconds. Somewhere on this course, he's got to make... Mind you, the man at the top of the leaderboard at the moment also has a touch. So, oh, wow.
Wow, Joe has really pinned those two upstreams.
Has he ever? This is going to be a very fast, raw time. And you just wonder what might have been without that touch, but he is tracking pretty well here. Joe Clark.
Bit of a powerhouse on the water. He can pull hard and get himself into or out of any situation.
He's going to be right. That split time is very close. So there he is. He's up on the split.
Even with that touch, that is impressive.
Well, Titian Kastric also had a touch, so they're probably dead level at the moment, which is some good paddling. He's going to go very close to being under 90 seconds, I think. This is a good finish. He's going to be just outside, I think, but a good run. No, he's the new race leader with a touch. Joe Clark. Giovanni doesn't look happy, but...
That was a fierce run from Joe. He did not let up.
What a run. So much power. The strength of the man, Ros.
Yeah, and look, when you get a small mistake like a penalty earlier on, the best paddlers just refocus, keep going, and do their best. Sometimes the penalty doesn't matter.
And I tell you what, some of those walls...
Top 3 with a touch at the moment.
Yeah, some of those walls that he pushed off, they would know that they've been pushed off because he used some oomph. But he has posted a 90.44, a raw time of 88.44. Thank you very much for coming.
It's pretty quick.
That is going to take some beating for the gold medal, but there'd be... The guys waiting to come would know, well, we can, if we can stay clean, we know we can go around that time. And we've got paddlers of the quality of Vic Prindes and Peter Kauser still to come, and some young guns who really want to make their mark today.
And I'm pretty excited about this next paddler from China.
Yep.
It's good to see a new face in the final.
And good to see 3 continents represented in the final, Ros. We've got Oceania, of course, Tim Anderson's there. We've got Asia with Xing Quan, who's on the course right now, and we've got Europe. So 3 continents in the final.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a lot of travel for those people outside of Europe. Even for those in Europe, sometimes you're crossing quite far across a lot of countries.
Yeah. The good things about the Europeans is they'll always let you know how far they've had to travel.
So far.
All the way from
Such a long drive.
Po. All the way from Po, which is by...
Do you know what? Tim Anderson has actually been living in Po this year, so he hasn't had too far to come.
Has he just? Right, okay, so we'll see him on the course in a moment. But at the moment, Zim Kwan, who was really fast and in the semi-final, and for quite a while on his run, he was challenging for the lead. There's a big gate touch there. I
think it was gate 12 in the semi that was getting a lot of penalties from them, but this time it seems to be gate 11.
Gate 11 being problematic. So Kwan now has a touch that he needs to erase somewhere along the line. 2 seconds that he's got to make up to be in the mix. You've got to go. You'd have to go under 91 to have any shot of a medal the way things are shaping up. So
look, it's not impossible.
No, he's fast, isn't he? He's strong. I really like the way he gets moving on the water.
Yeah, look, I've heard that the Chinese just do huge volumes of training, kind of more than most people, but it's definitely paying off.
They're giving him a 50 on 17.
Wow.
They've given him a 50. They will review it, and we'll have a look in just a moment. You can be the judge at home, but at this stage, we'll see from his response what he thinks about that 50. No, he's clapping. Was he clapping? Just saying, okay, thank you very much. But let's have a look. Now he realises they've given him a 50.
Bit of a squint.
Yeah, he's thinking, hang on, where'd that 50 come from? So that was gate 17. They gave him a 50. We'll have a look at the replay, and you can be the judge at home, folks. How would you call it? We'll see in just a moment. Here we go. How would you call it, folks at home? Well, that's not it. That's gate 7. So let's have a look here.
That's gate 11.
That's gate 11. So that's definitely the touch. There's gate 11 again. So definitely a touch there. But let's see now. Here we go. Gate 17. How would you call it at home, folks?
I'm not sure that's quite the right angle.
No, that's the job that our judges face. His whole head has to be between that pole.
I'll tell you what, sometimes I'm pretty glad I'm not a judge, Ross.
I think that was a penalty. I think that was a 50, though. I think that's the right call.
Looked okay from that angle.
Yeah, but there was one angle there that, I don't know.
It's all about the perspective.
It is about the perspective.
Lucky we've got lots of camera angles.
Well, we most certainly do. But
professionals on the job.
Even with the 50, though, without the 50s in Kwan, would not be challenging for Joe Clark's time. Can this speed machine, though, Mario Leitner, upset the apple cart?
So always possible. Mario is a great paddler from Austria, training in Vienna, and yeah, definitely has put down some great runs in the past.
We heard earlier that Mario is one of these paddlers, Roz, as you have been over the years, who travels the length and breadth of the planet finding places to paddle. He loves the white water paddling and spends a lot of time. I think he was just in the United States doing some paddling there, so just loves being on the water.
Absolutely. I think the more courses you can paddle on, the better. That was a pretty spectacular gate 11 from Mario.
So the 50 has been confirmed for Kwan from China. Look at Mario's split time. He's up on Joe Clark's time.
Yeah, I think that was gate 11. He got it all there.
Yep. So Joe Clark, he picked up the 2-second penalty on gate 9. So that's good. A good time so far for Leitner from Austria. And they're reviewing gate 11 though, so maybe it wasn't that good after all. But we will see. The judges will deliver their verdict in just a moment. But this has been pretty good. He's going to be pretty close to Joe Clark's time. Here we go. A couple of gates to go. That
right at the drop there.
Now, can he nail his last couple of gates?
Joe was very fast in this double spin.
Yeah, Mario Leitner now. Nice. Yeah, pretty good. Is it going to be enough? Is he going to go under 90? That's what we've got to look at. No, he's not.
Not quite.
No, but does
Still
move
a great run
into second. He's pretty happy with that. He's pretty happy to be in that silver medal position. And now we are at the halfway stage of this final, and Joe Clark.
Joe Clark in the lead, very strong competitor. We've got some interesting paddlers to come still.
Some young guns.
Can they do it?
Yeah, I mean, Joe would be sitting, I mean, sitting here wondering what if with that touch, but to win a gold medal with a touch would be pretty satisfying. And I just keep looking at this raw time of his, this 88.44, which is almost obscene. It's like Jess Fox's raw time, but that cost her the touch in the women's. So will it cost Joe Clark in the end? Will somebody get under his time with a clean run?
I guess he's left it open, but it's a good time of the season to know you've really got the raw speed to dominate.
For sure. His form is coming good at exactly the right time before Lee Valley. Let's have a listen to Joe Clark, see how he feels at the halfway stage of this final.
Joe, that was a really good run, but you did have a touch. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, no, it was good to put a run down in the final. It's always a hard course to race here in Sao, with it being quite fiddly. It's really difficult for me. Training on Lee Valley, completely different feel to it. To come here, almost have to learn how to kayak again.
Yeah, fair enough. Do you think it'll be good enough time for the medals?
I hope so. Obviously, without the touch, I think it would stand a good chance of winning today. With a touch, we'll see. Hopefully, I can get a podium, and we'll see.
For sure, that would be great. Well, congrats for the moment.
Thank you.
It's a good point he makes, Roz, about the difference between Lee Valley and here. And you've paddled on both courses, so you know better than most. But I know some of the teams, the Brazilians, for example, didn't come here this week because they wanted to train on a course that was more similar to Lee Valley, and they felt that La Seu was too different. But what is the main difference between the Lee Valley course and the La Seu course?
Lee Valley is a steep, big volume course, and Sao, it's much narrower. There's a bit less water. It's very quirky. Sao, it's quite different to a lot of other courses. Same design and construction team, I think, as Bratislava. You'll notice some similarities, and Liptovsky as well, I think. And yeah, look, there's something to be said in that it's pretty different from Lee Valley, but a race is a race, and the best paddlers do well everywhere, regardless of the course.
Yeah, the quality athletes will win wherever you put some water and some gates, and they'll go out and do some magic. So Joe Clark happy there to be sitting on top of the leaderboard at the halfway stage. But there are an interesting mix of paddlers still to come, Roz, some young guns and a couple of veterans who have been up and down these courses so many times and will just know they eat pressure for breakfast. And they'll be coming out and trying to put down the perfect run.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a very technical and mental sport, slalom, so coping with that pressure is all part of the fun.
Johnny Dixon, the second of the Brits, and he was incredible, really. And he's had a really interesting season. He really came to our notice, I think, in, I'm trying to remember now, I think it was in Prague. He finished 6th. And then he had a pretty good under-23. Didn't win a medal, though, but then he won a medal in the kayak cross at the under-23s. But he has really stood up this season and put himself on notice as a young paddler with a big future.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's great when paddlers come out with a big year, with a bang, and say, I'm here, I'm getting results, and I'm ready to chase the big names.
And it's just great for Great Britain to have that competition so that they can keep, the paddlers having to lift every time they go out on the water, because they know that if they lose focus for just a moment, there is somebody from their own team just waiting to step up. And for Joe Clark now, he's watching Johnny Dixon and knows that he's breathing down his neck.
Yeah, look, and the Brits, 2 Brits in the final. It's good to see. They have such investment and such professionalism in their team. They keep producing athletes who are absolutely world-class athletes.
But unfortunately, there was a pretty big touch there for Johnny Dixon. Can he still resurrect this with that gate
little
touch?
Offline and the stagger there. This section of staggers we've just seen, the gates are in the flow, but so close to the eddies that if you're offline, you end up in the slow water and losing time, unfortunately.
So it's slipping away now for Johnny Dixon. He's not going to be, and there's another touch, I think, coming out of that gate as well. So 2 touches is pretty well impossible for a medal for Johnny Dixon, but it's all a learning experience. Another senior final, he'll chalk that one up. And I know that he'd love to be in Paris, but I think probably for Johnny Dixon, he's already starting to think about 2028 and what could happen in Los Angeles.
Yeah, and I mean, it's good that we're getting sort of news coming out soon. We've got Paris Olympics. That course has been ready for a long time. Yeah, I mean, 2028 is a long way away. It's an interesting game in slalom to plan your campaigns so far ahead.
Yep.
Year in, year out, but it's so exciting, and that's why we all love the sport. There's always some new challenge, a new competitor, a new course.
And I did tease you all yesterday, and I said that there is an announcement coming soon, I believe, on Los Angeles, so you'll have to stay tuned for that, on what it might mean, what it could be.
Yes, Ross has told me that it's a secret.
It is a secret. I can't give away too much, but
Posted on behalf of everybody that he lets us know what it is.
all I can say is that I think it's going to be good news.
That's exciting.
That's all I can say at this stage. Now, speaking of exciting, Tim Anderson is on the course. Was he just smelling in his underarm? He's going, have I put deodorant? I can't remember if I put deodorant on this morning. Did I put deodorant on or not?
I hope that's not what he was thinking on the start line, Ross.
Well, it would be incredibly relaxed if he was. But look at him go, and he's a good friend of yours, Roz. He's a top bloke. I really enjoy talking to Tim Anderson. I love his outlook on life, and as you said, he's been based in Europe this year and paddling probably the best he's paddled in his life.
Yeah, look, Tim had a great season last year as well. He has been based in France this year, working on his French as well as his paddling, I think.
How's that going?
Good as far as I know, but I don't speak French, so I can't tell.
He could be saying anything to you and you'd be going, wow, your French is good.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, all of the Aussie team, they're all great mates. Everyone's friends, so it's really good to see an Aussie in the final.
Wait, look at this split. He's, Tim.
Goodness.
Just when I got excited, now I have to sit back down again in my seat because he really did give that gate a good whack.
Well, we might as well do things properly, I guess.
Yeah. No point for half measures, but he can still challenge because Joe Clark's time does include a touch as well. So if Tim can stay fast, if Joe Clark can do it, then Tim Anderson can do it.
Absolutely.
And at the moment, the split is 3 seconds out, though, and that's going to be a big gap to make up. And as Roz has mentioned on a couple of occasions, Joe Clark's, another touch there. The bottom of the course for Joe Clark was really fast. And Tim now with those 2 touches is unfortunately out of the mix for a medal. He'll be disappointed, but it's finals experience, and that's good experience.
He's pretty happy to be there, working out how it's done so he can put it all together the next time. Interestingly, have we seen any of the K1 men go for the direct down the bottom? Not yet.
So.
Will anybody do it? We'll see.
I'm predicting that Mikel Trave will do it.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Trave had some pretty incredible ups. They were so tight and fast in his semi-run.
Yeah, I'm predicting, well, if word has got through to him of the time set by Joe Clark, then Trave will think, what the heck, I've got nothing to lose. I'm just going to pin my ears back and I'm going to go for it. Peter Kauser might do it. Vit Prindis could do it as well. I mean, look at the quality. The last 3 paddlers who are about to entertain us, Peter Kauser, Vit Prindis, and Mikel Trave.
Absolutely anything could happen from here, which is a great way for a final to be.
That's where a final should be, and it's going to go right down to the wire. But at the moment, it is Joe Clark who is about to learn whether he's guaranteed of a medal or not, because he is on top of the leaderboard. There he is, looking pretty relaxed. Lads, did anyone say show your muscles? No.
I don't think they need telling.
Nobody did that. That was Mario Light that started that off, that nonsense. All right, Peter Kauser now, 59 years of age, still paddling really fast. I mentioned before he was going to throw it away after Tokyo, but with just the 3-year Olympic program, he decided to have one more crack at it, and he's out here today and challenging for a medal.
Absolutely. He's an incredibly technical paddler, Peter. You know, he's spent hours and hours on the water. So smooth, so controlled. He's really got flair. He's an impressive paddler to watch. A little bit down on the split, but there's still plenty of time to make that up.
He loves paddling in Tucson. We see him there, and he always has that big fan base that come and watch him paddling there. One year I saw him put down a run there. Look at this, he's now under the split. I saw him put down a run in Tucson one year that I still say is one of the best runs I've ever seen in canoe slalom, and he went off after that and had a little nap. He got out of camp bed, got the camp bed out of the team tent, lay down and had a little nap.
It's all about recovery in sport. It's
Yep.
one of the most important things.
Yeah, for sure. But this is fast.
Yeah, he's on an impressive run.
This is a really good run here from Peter Kauser. Can he stay clean? Whatever you do, Peter Kauser, do not give judges cause to have a look at a 50. Please don't do it, because we don't need the grief and the anxiety of waiting to see what happens. But
He's
pretty
looking
good.
very tidy. This might compete with Joe's run.
It could well do. I think he's going to go under 90, is it? And that is going to be very close to a
so
gold
much
medal
power.
time. What a run. Wow, Peter Kauser, you are
That
back.
was impressive.
Peter Kauser, you are back. Anybody who tells Peter Kauser that his best days are behind him, go and have a look at that run there, because Peter Kauser is back and he is now in the gold medal position with a time sub 90.
I don't know if his best days will ever be behind him, Ross. I think he's got at least another 10 years.
I bet you're now thinking, Roz, why have I retired?
This means I get to commentate more.
Ah, that's right.
Do something different.
Exactly.
Usually, if you asked me to commentate after competing, Ross, that meant I was a bit grumpy. So,
Yeah, I can tell you, I used to avoid you like the plague.
happy to be here having fun this time.
Look at his Slovenian teammates. They're appreciating what Peter Kauser's done there.
Yeah, they're a tight-knit team, the Slovenians, full of support for each other.
Joe Clark, generous round of applause, knows that his raw time was faster, but in the end, if you make mistakes, that is what happens. And Peter Kauser now moves into the gold medal position and is guaranteed a medal, no matter what. But there are two men who are about to go on the course who could change everything. And this man, Vid Prindis, silver medal at the last two World Cups. Both times he was denied by his Czech teammate, Yuri Prišković. Prišković is not there today, but Peter Kauser is.
Yeah, look, Vid Prindis, the Czech K1 men team is so impressive. Like, such great paddlers, possibly the most competitive group of K1 men in the world. And they push each other to achieve more and more.
Well, at the risk of sounding like a broken record, I'll say it again. There are a handful of athletes that do our sport who have never been to an Olympic Games, and to me it is heartbreaking, and this man is one of them. It's hard to believe that somebody of his quality, he's been a world champion, he's been at the top of the tree, he's probably easily in the top 5, probably in the top 2 best paddlers of the modern era, and he's never been to an Olympics.
Wow, and oh my goodness, just as we've seen how fast that split was, he's had a massive edge in that up.
Yeah, like a bucking bronco going through those gates.
Still clean though. Oh no. Gate 5.
Gate 5. So I give the man a big rap, but I'll stand by everything I've said about Vid Prindis.
Look, it's still possible for him to be on the podium. He's such a great technical paddler. There's time in this bottom section.
So he's got about a second he needs to make up, and Kauser was fast at the bottom, so...
Third place is 1.71 behind first at the moment, so it is still in the running.
He's in the running for a medal. Probably not a gold now, but can he shake this tree and possibly win a bronze? Yes, well, he's moved into third. He's moved into third. That gate touch.
It's going to come down to the Spanish man.
Yep. And Joe Clark has a medal as well, so he'd be pretty happy with that. Kauser and Clark have medals. There's one man to come who can upset it all, though, who can snatch that gold medal away. Look at that touch there. Well picked up by the judges. They are on their game today.
Judges are on their game every day.
Every day. Look at that. But phew, there for Vid Prindis. Moves into the bronze.
I think last run of the slalom at Mikel Trave, home course, there's going to be a big crowd.
And he's going to do some spectacular stuff.
If you're not running down the bank, I'd say step out of the way, because there's going to be a stampede.
Get out of the way, because it's going to be the running of the bulls in La Seu, not in Pamplona. It'll be the running of the bulls, but it won't be bulls, it'll be Spanish fans.
They know how to do a good festival here.
They do know how to do a good festival. They know how to run fast and make a lot of noise, and they are going to be doing that in just a moment. So get ready at home, folks. Strap yourselves in. This is an exciting finish. Look at them all. They've got their fingers crossed. There's nervous energy out there, so much so that people are taking their hats off and waving them in the air for no apparent reason. And Mikel Trave, the young man, 23 years of age. Woo. What can he do in front of his home crowd? He's got a fast time to beat. He's got to go under 90 seconds, but he can do it. Mikel Trave knows this course so well. He's such an accomplished paddler. Just needs to look there they are in the background, folks. The running of the bulls, the running of the fans is happening.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see him get to gate 11, 12, 13, 3 ups in the row. He was so tight in his semi-final run with such precision that I think is only possible on your home course.
It is. Look at this.
He is on fire.
Mikel Trave, he is putting down something special. Stay clean, my friend, and this gold medal could well be yours. The crowd know it. They know what's happening. Here we go. This is where it could be
Negative 2.2. Oh, and he's probably still ahead.
He's still ahead even with that touch, though. Don't worry about that touch, folks. Ignore it. He can still do this. He can still do it. He can definitely win a medal, but he could still snatch the gold if he does something really special here, Mikel Trave.
Let's hope he's not too focused on that touch and refocusing for the rest of the course.
He's got the edge of youth in his favour. The don't care, just going to throw it all out there attitude. That Mikel Trave is down now on the split. This is going to be really fast. Cowser's time is 89.36. Can Trave nail this bottom part of the course? We know Cowser was good here.
It's solid.
It is solid. I don't know that he's going to be fast enough, though. 89.36. He's not going to win the gold. Can he win a minor medal, though? It's going to be tight. I think he's going to be outside, unfortunately, for Mikel Trave.
Such a great top half.
Cowser can't believe it. He cannot believe that he is the gold medalist again. But Mikel Trave, so good at the top of the course.
Yeah, some pretty impressive paddling there from the youngster.
Just maybe, Ros, you said that you hoped that he stayed focused after that touch, but maybe he just lost a little bit of his rhythm.
Maybe.
But
Maybe
we've seen...
cutting it pretty tight.
I tell you this, though, Ros Lawrence, I have seen the future and I like what I see.
Yeah, some impressive young paddlers in this final, but we're seeing the experience trumping over the youthfulness here with Cowser, Clark and Prindis.
Yep.
3 of the biggest names in the game on the podium.
Yeah, there's some class there on the podium for sure. And Peter Cowser, at the age of 39, his best is still present. He's still paddling as good as anybody on the water, and with a couple of weeks until the Olympic qualifiers, what a time to remind us all what he's capable of. And the big Slovenian will be having a chat to us in just a moment. Look at that. That is the face of a man who he's going, what the heck? How did this happen? I'm 39, I'm gold medalist, so everybody should enjoy it.
I think he knows exactly
Let's
how
have a listen
happened.
to Peter Cowser. What's he got to say about this gold medal?
Congratulations, you just won the 4th World Cup. How do you feel?
I wasn't expecting this, if I'm honest. Like, I had a bad start of the season. I couldn't come into the final. And when we had a break, I said to myself, okay, once I'm in the final, I want to prove that I'm still worthy. So yeah, today I was happy to progress with a nice run in the semis. And then I tried to push a little bit harder, and at the end it was just enough to take another win here in La Seu. It's been one of my favorite places, and yeah, I don't know, I'm so happy.
Yeah, I mean, you've been racing for a long time, and you're hoping...
Don't remind me that.
Does this mean something for your selection right before Worlds and everything?
No, it doesn't mean anything for selections, but it's a good fundamentals for before the Worlds. In 2 weeks' time. I really wanted to show my form, that I learned something from the first part of the season. And I'm really happy that it started like this, and I hope I will continue producing these kind of runs in the next 2 weeks. And so,
well, you definitely still got it, so congratulations.
Thank you.
He can't believe it. He cannot believe it, can he? He's so pumped.
That was a very, very big smile on Peter's face.
Yep, and we're all pretty happy for him because he's a nice bloke and has put so much into this sport and worked so hard. And when you go back to the London Olympics and the excitement that he had there, and now to think that he's going to be possibly in the hunt for another Olympic Games on that form, that's pretty exciting. But what a great final we've had, Ros. Let's just analyse at the moment Peter Cowser winning, but then Joe Clark and Vic Prendes second and third, both with gate touches.
Yeah, look, in the end it was the clean run that did it. I think that's a pretty important takeaway. It's what it's about in slalom. But yeah, such good names in that final, and it could have been anyone. Joe Clark put down such an impressive raw time, had a great run, and then Peter Kauser just took it away from him at the end there.
It's a good point you make, Ros, because there were 3 guys there who had faster raw times than Peter Kauser, but the big difference was Peter Kauser, showing that knowledge, showing that experience, managed to keep his nose clean and go down to the bottom of the course without any penalties at all, and that has been the deciding factor. Of the young guns, well, I mean, Titian Kastric continues to impress. Mikel Trave was so good for so much of that run in 6th. Tim Anderson 8th and Johnny Dixon 9th. And Kim Kwan, the only paddler on the course with that 50-second penalty. But some exciting results there for the young paddlers as well.
Yeah, exciting young paddlers, and I'm sure we'll see plenty more of them in future finals.
So Vit Prindes moves up to the top of the standings there, with Yuri Priskovic not making the final. Prindes moves into the top position. Giovanni De Janeiro is 2nd, and Joe Clark sitting in 3rd. Peter Kauser, on the back of that win today, moves into 7th. Ros, thank you once again for being part of the commentary. Really, really wonderful to have you here. Looks like there's a bit of rain there, but you'll stay dry. Thank you at home. Hope you've enjoyed the coverage today. We'll be back tomorrow with a kayak cross. Clear your diaries, folks, because it is wonderful to watch the kayak cross. But for now, from La Seu de Ojol in Spain, it's over and out.
Thanks, Ross.
Wow, that was